I want to welcome everyone back to season 3, part 2 of How to Play the Game of College. Real quick, I just want to thank everyone for the support with part 1. As you all know, the theme of this season was keeping it real about college. And y'all, we had some great guests on part 1. So I was like, look, I got to extend this season and continue the great guests. And y'all, I'm so excited about the guest that we have today, Dr. Michalyn Easter-Thomas. How you doing today? Welcome to the
I'm
podcast.
doing well, feeling good. How are you, Dr. Boyd?
I'm good. I'm good. I noticed we are matching. I don't know if we got the note or whatever, but with the gray and black. So yeah, we're good to go. Thank you so much for taking time to be on the podcast today.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Yes, yes, yes. So many of you, I feel like, look, you're living under a rock if you don't know who you are, but you do so many great things here in Memphis. Councilwoman, former teacher, business owner. You have your own consulting firm. The list just goes on and on. And I think you taught at the best high school in Memphis. Was it Overton?
Yes, I did. I did.
Some people say the high school. I don't even know what they're.
That's my alma mater, Carter Partial.
I had to say that quietly because my wife went to Central as well. So yes, if you can, just kind of tell us, I guess in an elevator speech, right? How did you get to where you are now? So many people see us as Dr. Easter-Thomas, right? Dr. Boyd, but not really knowing the story of how we got to where we are.
Yeah. So one, I will say the simple answer is God. Trusting him on my path and learning when to pivot.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And when to take those opportunities. So I started my undergrad here in Memphis at Christian Brothers University. I went in a different major than I came out.
Okay.
I thought my path was gonna be something else, but then I had to think about what's best for my academics, what's best for my ultimate vision of helping people, and so I went into history and said that I was gonna do education. So in my senior year of college, I started applying for grad schools, ended up, and what I did, I just searched in top education grad schools, US. All right, Lord, I'm applying there. And so applied to both, to the top 2, got into both of them and chose to go to New York to go to Columbia. So in Columbia, I got my 7 through 12 certification for education and taught my very first year at a all Latinx high school in the Bronx with my first year teaching. And so I think that gave me a pretty good leg up for experience. And then taught there, moved back home to Memphis after some family things. And once here, I did teach at lovely Overton. I love my students so much. And from there, while I was still teaching, I enrolled to get my EDS in Arkansas State Online and my administration license. The year I graduated from my online degree, my EDS, is the year I ran for council and was also the year that I applied to get a promotion at the school. And thankfully, I got it out of all of the applicants. So then I transitioned from teacher to instructional coach
Okay.
at Overton. And I was also doing some things with social studies, doing PD for the entire school district. And so doing that and instructional coaching, I said, I want to challenge myself even further. So I enrolled in my doctoral program at Vanderbilt and just finished my doctoral program May 2024.
Congratulations to you.
Year end. Thank you. Almost year end. And now I've transitioned out of the school district setting to really harper on what they were really teaching us in doctoral school, education consulting. So,
Okay. Okay.
yep. So that's the journey in a nutshell. But back to the trusting God on the path
Yeah. Yeah.
and just learning when to pivot and really challenging myself and going on my strengths.
Man, man, man. So many different hats, so many different hats. And I love how you said, you went in thinking you were going to do one thing, but you end up switching and knowing when to pivot, right? Which is so key with so many different students. I think the average time a student changes their major is at least 2 to 3 times. And so I love how you're.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's okay, right? You're doing this for a lifetime, right? If you figured like, hey, I thought I want to do this, but then something different came up, or hey, I thought I had to do it because my mom, my dad told me, but I want to follow my own path. That's the key thing to do, right? It's your life and you gotta live it how you want to live it, right?
Yeah, you got to figure out how you gonna make the money, and it might as well be in something that you like.
So true, so true. Now the big question, and I still wrestle with this, right? I see that you are doing a lot, right? A lot of great things, right? You just finished your doctorate a year ago. not to mention your mom, wife. The list just goes on and on. You have so many different hats. When we think about the word balance, right? And I kind of put that in the book of how to play the game of college with students saying, I got so much going on, I just can't do it all, right? And they throw in a hat most times. How do you balance it all? Or is there such thing as balance?
Mm. I don't think that there is a such thing as balance. It's what because for some years I was telling myself, how does this work life balance go? And the real thing is, having boundaries, having
Okay.
support systems, whether that be people or protocols or things that you're doing, and just making sure that whatever you do for that day is the best you've done that day.
Mm,
So
yeah,
maybe
yeah.
your best that day is going to 5, 6 meetings, hosting a podcast, cooking dinner, doing a load of laundry,
Yes, yes.
kissing the babies on the forehead good night. And then maybe the next day, your best is just going to get your nails done, checking emails. What to say is everybody needs that just flexibility in
Mhm.
what's required of them and what's actually humanly possible. So of course, you don't want to sign on to stuff where you don't have the capacity.
Right, exactly.
But being able to schedule your time, manage your schedule, knowing your supports, knowing your strengths, but also the supports that you have in place and the people around you, and
Mhm,
it just
mhm.
setting those boundaries. So, for
Right.
example, I'm a council person.
Mhm,
And
mhm.
so I'm always there and want to be as responsible as possible for my community.
Right.
During the Christmas season, I had to tell a lot of constituents that I'm coming to certain events and I'm coming
Okay.
to support you in what you're doing, but I'm
Right.
prioritizing my child's holiday
Exactly.
experience over
Yeah, yeah.
anything else.
Right.
So if I've already done 2 events that day and my baby
Mhm.
wants to go see the Christmas lights, going to see the Christmas lights.
That's so
And
true.
we can talk about this stuff later. So
Mhm.
just making sure that, and those are boundaries, right? But that's balance to be.
Mhm,
At the
mhm.
end of the day, I don't want you to say, yeah, Michael was everywhere. Saw her at 12 events, but
Right.
then my baby can't tell you anything about Christmas.
So
So,
true, so true.
oh yeah. So
So true. I definitely appreciate you sharing and like you said, really having those boundaries in place. And again, like you said, every day won't be the same. Some days you can do the 8 meetings, but then the next day, hey, I need some time to just be with myself, and that's okay, right? So I definitely appreciate you sharing that information. When we look at the city of Memphis, right? Born and raised here myself, came back similar to you after being gone for a little while. So many times in the cities we hear that hey, the youth, they're all over the place. They're not going to college. Graduation rates are low. College dropout rates are even, higher. What would you say to, I guess, any adult or even a community partner, right, that might want to lean in to help support the youth of our city to really help them to get to a post secondary credential? Any advice that you have for maybe someone who's wanting to help?
so there are a plethora of groups and organizations that are already ingrained with
Mhm,
these students in high school ages and opportunity youth. So there are a myriad of ways to plug in, to volunteer your time, to lend your professional expertise or service, to form a partnership, to
mhm,
get your church to sponsor someone to or to be a mentor or to be a volunteer. And I know a lot of those organizations are on sites like Community Foundation of Memphis, where they have the Where to Give 901, Volunteer
mhm,
901,
mhm.
Volunteer Memphis. And so I would start there for the low hanging. You got an individual that just they don't know what they want to do. They just know they want to help and support. I would start there for your low hanging fruit. But if you're in like an organization or a business or a corporation, it can be as easy as reaching out to your representative, right? Or reaching out to the school that you pass that's by your house.
Mhm.
Every time you go to work, reaching out to their outreach person saying, "Do you have any opportunities where you need support from this
Mhm.
business,
Yeah.
or where you need people to come in and provide this?" And 100% of the time, you probably will get a formidable, positive answer.
So true. So true. Yes. So no need to reinvent the wheel. Like you said, the whole wheel. There's so many
I say
great
this
things.
all the time. If you
Yeah.
you want to give back, that does not mean you have to start 501(c)(3).
Right.
There are so many things that you can do to support the efforts that are already working and efficient, improved by data, especially in the city of Memphis. So, unless the Lord call you to it, it's put for you to volunteer. It's
True. So true. Yes. Goodness. Glad you said that. Glad you said that. Yes. So just jump in and help. Yes. So as we think about the value of education, higher education, right? We live in a world 2025 where we have so many students that say, hey, going to college, waste of time. I can get on TikTok, make a lot of money. I could play the game, make a lot of money. I could be a Facebook professor, make a lot of money, right? What would you say to, especially now, kind of hone in on the city of Memphis, right? Though this senior that's in high school that's kind of going back and forth, like, hey, it's post secondary for me. And notice I'm saying post secondary credential because, again, college comes in many different forms for our 4 year, our technical community colleges, and the list goes on and on. What would you say the value of education has meant to you?
So what I used to tell when I taught 11th graders, 11th and 12th. So at this spot where we are having those conversations and where we have had those conversations. And one thing that I consistently told them, I said that I'm a lifelong learner. Maybe because I'm super nosy. So I just like fling everything. I want to know everything. I want to know it all. I want to know what's going on. But however, as a person and a young person who's looking to see what are they going to do, everything in life requires training and schooling.
Oh, true.
So it's just the type of training and schooling that you're gonna go through. I used to tell them whether you going to McDonald's or Harvard, you still gonna have to sit and learn something. Still gonna
Right.
have to pass somebody's test.
Mm-hmm.
Still gonna have to prove that you know what you say you know in order to do what you say you want to do to get paid what the paper says.
Right.
So you that with that being in mind, take out the rhetoric. I hate when people say everybody doesn't have to go to college. It doesn't talk about college. What they're really saying is you don't have to go to a school, but you have your TCAS, you have more techs, you have your JUCOs, your community colleges that offer very good career opportunities. But so long we hear that you don't have to go to college, and now you don't want to go to these either.
Right. Exactly.
But it's so really the just taking that out.
Mm-hmm.
If you're at if you're at a warehouse in East Memphis, you still gotta go through training. You need to be on the forklift, you need schooling to go to get your CDL to drive. You need schooling for everything. So it just depends, the level of rigor and the time that you wanna subscribe to. Like, I would just say, see what you want to do. What do you like to do? And look for the careers within that, and what are the options? What are the paths? So even with medical, you may like helping people, but you may not wanna go the doctor route. I wanna be medical tech. You might wanna be dental assistant. You might wanna do the things with, prescriptions. They have those programs with, post-secondary pharmacy tech. So there are options to be in realms of work where you don't have to put in 5, 6, 7 years at school. 3, 4, 5, 6 years.
Yeah, exactly.
You can do it in a condensed time and still have time for that flexibility if you have family obligations or other obligations too. So we gotta stop saying college ain't for everybody because learning is for everybody. It's always for everybody. You're a lifelong learner. So we gotta see what we wanna learn about.
So true. And like you said, there's so many options out there.
Yeah.
A lot of times people only think their 4 year degree is the only route to go. And now we have free community college for the state, right?
Yeah.
Free
Free.
schools.
Free.
But a lot of times we don't really promote those like we should. So I appreciate you sharing it and saying that.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So true. So the book is called, I'm sure you have read the book, How to Play the Game of College, right?
'Cause it's a game.
It is. So that leads me to the next question. When we think about the game, right? What is one piece of the game that you would give a student that's pursuing a post-secondary degree? I wrote a whole book, right? Trying to break the code and how to really, elevate yourself in the space of post-secondary. Going back to your time, it could be a doctorate degree, it could be a master's, undergraduate. If you were talking to that one student, you said, hey, congratulations, you got into college. Now we want you to stay in college and
Mhm.
graduate. What's that one piece of game you can get that student?
Well, I know, the basics are, go to class, get your
Mhm, mhm.
scheduling, pay attention to financial aid, wake up on time. All that stuff
Right.
is expected for folks to
Mhm.
say. One thing that I would add to that is sign up. Anything you're looking at, anything that looks interesting, the flyers you see when you're
Yeah.
passing by, the stuff that comes to your email, sign up. Go,
Mhm,
see what it's talking about.
mhm.
Listen, see if you like it. See if you want to take it even further. Explore your
Mhm.
interests. You don't know what you don't know,
So true.
and you won't know where your interests take you if you don't sign up.
Mhm.
Example from undergrad, and I was always in everything. So I was always but so I signed up for work study,
Yeah.
and work study was with the College of Business. I was not
Mhm,
in the College of Business. I was in College of History, so a
mhm.
College of Arts, but it was in the College of Business. So it's a whole nother different building. And the
Right.
only thing what I did is I helped the assistant, so I was delivering mail a lot of times,
Okay.
office mail. And what I would do when I deliver mail is I would always look at the billboards on the wall. Every wall. I wanna see what every college doing, what the College of Science doing, what the College of Business doing, and so when
Mhm,
I was in the business hall in a far corner, it was a study abroad billboard,
mhm,
and
mhm.
I looked and I was like, I never heard of I've heard of it, but I never heard of anybody who did it. I didn't know what it was.
Right.
How can you do it? Thought it was only for rich people, and
Mhm,
so I was
mhm.
like, I didn't take a picture of it because you couldn't really do all that back then, but I took the flyer and I
Right.
took it back to my work study person. I was like, "How can you help me sign up for more information about this?
Mhm.
Because I wanna know about this."
Right.
And she was like, "Yeah, they've been doing it, for decades, they've been doing it all the time. They got an
Mhm,
information session. You should go." Went to the information session, found out that it was gonna be free. Same tuition
mhm.
that you was paying at the school was the same tuition that was
See.
required for study
Yeah.
abroad.
Yeah.
The same
Yeah.
room and board that I was paying at school would be applied at the study abroad. Only thing I would
Mhm.
need was spending money.
Yeah.
So I took
Yeah.
that back to my parents and I was like, "Hey, this opportunity is next school year. Can I
Yeah.
get it?"
Yeah.
It was like, "Is gonna be anything extra?" I was like, "No, I just need spending money. So I'm just asking everybody in the family for $20 for cake." And I went. So I was able to go study abroad, but
Wow.
and I did that in London and saw a lot of other countries too, but the
Mhm.
only way that I was able to do it is because I saw the flyer instead of instantly being like, "Whatever." It's like, "That's interesting. Let me see what you're talking about." Now, if it was something that I ain't like, just, left it alone, but it's sign up. You
Right. So true. Yeah.
never know what you like. You don't know what you'll be introduced to, opportunities, people,
Mhm.
networking, jobs, money,
So true.
everything. Just
Yeah.
sign up. Sign up.
Right.
If you don't like it, don't do it anymore. But
Yeah.
if you do,
Yeah.
look into it. So that would be
Right.
the only piece of the game I would add in there is just sign up. Check it out.
Yeah. Yeah. You said so much in that answer, which is good. Like you said, from getting involved, right? Signing up. I love how you mentioned I ask for help, right? And so many
Yeah.
of our students get to college and they think they should know. We have first generation college students. We have
And I'm first gen too.
me as well. Yeah. So we got that in common. And I'm like you, look, if I didn't know, I'm like, hey, doctor, so and so, I need to
Mhm.
answer a question. Right. So I start off the book by saying ask for help. Like that's the key, right? To really get you to and through college. So I like how you just reiterated that. And like you said, you've been able to see a whole world just by asking for help, right? Which is really, really key. So thank you for again for sharing that. We are almost at the end. I feel like we need a part two. You said some really great things. I definitely appreciate again you being on here. As we close out, right? I think about a time when we had a woman of color who was running for president, right? I have a daughter, my
Good time.
yes, yes, and so many times we hear still in 2025, right? Hey, it's just not equal for women, right? Especially women of color in careers and just in life in general. What is, I guess, one piece of advice you can just, if you were speaking to high schoolers or middle schoolers that saying, hey, I want to be the next president. However, still not fair, right? What is something you can do to really, or say to really encourage that young lady to keep moving on?
Whew, that's such a big question.
I know, yes.
Probably some things that I constantly say to myself daily, just what the Lord has for you to do. Find strength in that, whether you're getting support from anyone else or whether you're doing it by yourself, and just do it.
Right.
But whatever is your calling to go ahead and do it. Don't worry about who's looking at you funny. Don't worry about who's talking about you. Don't worry about who's doubting you. Don't worry about if nobody will come and do it with you. Don't worry about if your friend's saying, "What's going on with her? What's wrong?" Just do it. Just do it. And everything that you need will fall in place.
So true.
Everything that you need will fall in place. If it's what you're supposed to do, it'll all fall in place and it'll all be beautiful.
Man. We said to the young ladies, but you just ministered to me. Seriously. I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate you saying that. Again, thank you so much for being on the podcast today. We will post this on our YouTube channel, so make sure y'all like, share, comment. Dr. Michalyn Easter-Thomas will comment under your comments. And so definitely if you want to connect with her, I will have her LinkedIn, her social media account. So again, just thank you for your time today.
Oh, no, my pleasure.
Yes. All right, guys, we will have another great guest on next Wednesday. So make sure you save the date and make sure you tune in. Thank you again.